She doesn't cry the moment you leave. She doesn't chase you either. But don't be fooled. Your silence echoes louder than any words ever could. Welcome to Spark Your Journey. Embrace love with Stoic wisdom. Today we're going deep into what really happens when you walk away and never look back. Have you ever just vanished? No texts, no calls, no explanations. Just gone, not out of spite, not out of weakness, but because you finally realized you're done being taken for granted in a world where people expect you to always be available, always forgiving, always there. What happens when you're not? Here's the truth. When you disappear, it shakes something in her, something deep, something she'll never admit. If you've ever been the one who stayed too long, who gave too much, who begged to be seen, this message is your mirror and maybe your breakthrough. Today we're uncovering 9 powerful things she secretly hides when you suddenly disappear. And the 10th? It's not about her, it's about you, and it will change the way you see yourself forever. Let's begin. Thing number 1, when silence feels like rejection. At first, it's just quiet. She notices the silence, sure, but she brushes it off. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you just need space. She tells herself, he'll be back. He always comes back. But then you don't. And the silence lingers, grows heavier by the day. Suddenly it feels like a slap she never saw coming. You were the consistent one, the safe place. The one who showed up through every argument, every cold shoulder, every time she pushed you away. And now you're just gone. No warning, no closure, just gone. That's when the sting of rejection hits. Not because she loved you the way you deserved, but because she loved having control over you. You were predictable, you forgave easily, you stayed. And she counted on that. But the moment you walked away, you shattered her illusion of control. See, the Stoics remind us, you suffer when you try to own what was never yours to control. And now she's suffering because for the first time, she can't reach you, can't guilt you, can't lure you back with mixed signals and half-hearted promises. That loss of emotional control, that's the sting. Deep down, she never expected you to leave. She thought you needed her more than she needed you. But silence has a funny way of revealing the truth. And the truth is, you were the one holding it all together. Thing number 2, the void you leave behind. After the sting of rejection fades, something deeper creeps in. A quiet, aching emptiness. She doesn't talk about it. She might not even admit it to herself. But it's there. That space where you used to be. The way you made her feel safe without needing to say a word. The way your energy shifted the whole room. The way your calm steadied her chaos. It's gone now, and nothing she tries can replace it. At first, she tells herself she's fine. She lines up distractions, nights out, new conversations, mindless scrolling. She smiles in group photos, maybe even flirts just to prove she's over it. But something feels off. The laughter doesn't land the same. The people around her don't fill the silence the way you did. That's when she starts to feel it. The void. Because you weren't just another guy. You weren't just a warm body or another text thread. You were presence, peace, consistency. She didn't realize it then, but your love had weight. It grounded her. And now that you've removed yourself, she's floating, but not in the freeing kind of way. She's untethered, lost, drifting. You see, when someone thinks you'll always be there, they stop noticing what you bring until you're not there anymore. The Stoics say, we learn the value of things through their absence. And now, every quiet morning, every song that reminds her of you, every time her phone lights up and it's not your name, that's when the void pulls at her hardest. But here's the truth. She doesn't just miss your attention. She misses the way she felt when she was with you. Because around you, she was softer, safer, more real, and now she's left chasing that feeling in a world that can't give it back. Thing number 3. Her obsession with your disappearance. After the void sets in, her mind starts to wander. Not because she wants to, but because she can't help it. Curiosity creeps in slowly, not loud, not dramatic, just persistent. It starts with a simple question: what's he doing right now? Then another: who's he with? Has he moved on? And before she knows it, she's in a mental loop she can't escape. She checks your social media, Instagram, TikTok, maybe even that old Facebook account she never cared about before. Not to like anything, just to see. But you're not there. No posts, no stories, no updates. You've gone dark. And that drives her crazy. Because when you were around, she could predict you. She knew what you'd say, how you'd feel, where you stood. Now, you're a blank space, and the mind hates blanks. You see, human beings aren't built to sit with uncertainty. When we don't have answers, we invent them. And the stories she's spinning in her head, they're louder, darker, and more powerful than anything you could actually say. She pictures you laughing with someone else, moving on, being unbothered, happy without her. And that image, it haunts her. The Stoics understood this well. The mind is its own tormentor when it tries to grasp what it cannot control. And now she's grasping hard. She might reach out to mutual friends, poke around in old messages, even check who's liking your posts if you've left anything behind. But you haven't. And that mystery, that silence, it becomes magnetic. Because when you're no longer available, you become valuable. And the more she looks, the more she realizes you're not just gone. You've become unreachable, and nothing creates more obsession than not knowing how the story ends. Thing number 4, the mirror of regret. The curiosity didn't bring closure, no answers, no signs of life, just silence. And when she can't reach you, she starts to reach inward. That's when things get real, really real. She starts replaying old conversations, but not like before, when she felt in control. Now she's watching them through a different lens, slower, more honest, more raw. She remembers the texts she ignored, the calls she declined, the moments when you needed her and she didn't show up. And suddenly she starts to wonder, was I too cold, too distant? Did I push him away for good? That question, it hits hard, because before, when you were still around, you were the buffer, the soft landing, the one who made excuses for her behavior, maybe even in your own mind. But now, there's no one left to silence the truth. Just her and her thoughts. The Stoics teach that true transformation begins with self-examination, with the courage to look inward, not outward. And that's where she is now, sitting in the wreckage, trying to make sense of what she broke with her own hands. Regret creeps in, not loudly, but persistently, followed by guilt. And here's the part that stings the most. She can't blame anyone, not you, not timing, not circumstance. For the first time she sees it, the way she sabotaged something real, the way she mistook love for control, the way she thought you'd never leave, and now that you're gone, really gone, she's left with a mirror she can't turn away from. But you're not there to catch the pieces. You've already walked into your peace, and she's just now learning what it cost her. Thing number 5, why she suddenly wants you back after enough silent nights. After sitting with the ache, the guilt, and the echo of her own choices, something inside her snaps. The switch flips, and now she wants you back, desperately. She starts small, a like on an old photo, a vague comment under a memory you both shared, maybe a late night, hey, just thinking about you. Text that pretends to be casual, but you can feel the weight behind it. She's not reaching out because she's healed. She's reaching because she feels your absence too deeply to ignore it anymore. But here's what she doesn't expect. You're no longer chasing. You're not jumping to reply. You're not decoding her messages for hidden meaning. You're not clinging to the hope that maybe, just maybe, this time she sees you. Because now you see yourself. You've stepped into your power. You've reclaimed your peace. And you're not holding your breath for someone who once made you feel small. And the more she tries to reach, the more it hits her. You're no longer reachable. Not because you're being petty, not because you want revenge, but because you've grown beyond needing her to validate your worth. And that is what drives her wild. Because for the first time, she's the one chasing the silence. She's the one wondering if she messed up the only thing that was ever real. You see, the moment you stopped needing her, you became magnetic, unpredictable, unbothered, irresistible. Not because of how loudly you spoke, but because of how powerfully you've chosen not to. And that, my friend, is the energy of someone who finally knows their value. Thing number 6, freedom or regret. The inner battle begins. At first she tells herself it's a good thing, a break, a reset, a little breathing room. Finally, I'm free. She whispers to herself, no more pressure, no more expectations, no more having to answer to anyone. And for a moment it feels real. That illusion of freedom, it's sweet, addicting even. She fills her schedule, nights out, empty conversations, background noise that keeps her from thinking too much. She posts like she's glowing, laughs louder than she feels, pretends she's better now. But when the lights go out, when the music fades, when she's lying in bed scrolling through her phone at 200 a.m. and your name doesn't appear, that's when the regret comes rushing in. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The kind that wraps around her chest and squeezes without mercy. Because now she knows. She didn't walk away from a burden. She lost someone who mattered. Someone who showed up, listened, loved with intention. And now, you're not there. The Stoics remind us, freedom without inner peace is just chaos dressed up in distraction. And right now, she's wearing that chaos like a fresh coat of lipstick, trying to look unbothered on the outside while unraveling on the inside. And here's the irony. She got what she thought she wanted. Space, distance, freedom. But in losing you, she also lost the one person who made that freedom feel safe. Now, she's not just alone. She's adrift, untethered, and facing a truth that doesn't care how much she tries to avoid it. She had something rare, and she let it slip through her fingers. Thing number 7, the emotional games begin. Now, the regret is in full swing. But there's a problem. Her ego won't let her say it out loud, won't let her admit, I miss you, I messed up, I wish I could go back. So instead of reaching out with honesty, she starts playing games. You see it in the way she suddenly starts posting again. Those flawless selfies, late night vibes, angles that feel just a little too staged. She shares cryptic quotes about healing, leveling up, or being better off without anyone. And then come the photos, the ones where she's smiling next to some guy she barely knows. But she wants you to see it. It's not about moving on. It's about making you wonder if she has. But here's the thing. You're not wondering anymore. You're not biting, not decoding, not giving her the energy she used to feed on. Because you've grown. You've stepped out of the game. You're not checking her stories. You're not analyzing captions. You're not letting her pull you back into a world of smoke and mirrors. Her tricks, they don't work anymore. Because you're not playing for attention. You're anchored in self-respect. And when she realizes she can't provoke a reaction, when she throws everything at you and you stay centered, that's when it hits her. You've changed. You've detached. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with clarity. And that clarity, it's something she can't fake, can't copy, can't compete with, because the game only works when the other player is still playing. And you've already walked off the field. Thing number 8. When your silence gets loud. There's nothing louder than the silence of someone who used to care. She remembers the sound of your presence, the way your messages used to light up her screen, those little good morning texts, the voice calls just to say hi, the comfort of knowing that you were always there. And now, nothing. No pings, no updates, no late night calls, not even a whisper. And that silence, it's deafening. She thought she could handle distance, thought she could outweight you, play it cool. What she wasn't prepared for was the sound of her own thoughts in the absence of your voice. You see, people expect closure. They expect the final conversation, an emotional goodbye, an apology, something to make the ending feel tidy. But what happens when that ending never comes? When the door doesn't slam, it just closes softly, forever. That's what crushes her. Because silence doesn't give her anything to fight against. No arguments, no blame, no back and forth, just space. And in that space, truth echoes. It reminds her of every time she took your presence for granted, every time she thought you'd never leave, every time she expected you to come running back. But now, there's no response, no explanation, no reaction. Just the silence of someone who has found peace and is no longer looking to be heard. The Stoics knew this kind of silence well, because silence is more than absence, it's presence, it's clarity, it's strength. It's the kind of silence that says, you don't need to understand why I left, you just need to feel that I'm gone. And she feels it. Every day, every night, that silence she once overlooked, now it's the loudest thing in her life. Thing number 9, her fear of losing you for good. At first, it was just silence. Then it became discomfort. Now, it's full-blown panic. She starts to realize you might not be waiting anymore. That door she thought would always be open, it's not just closed, it's locked. And for the first time, she doesn't feel in control. She feels afraid. Afraid she waited too long. Afraid someone else sees your worth now. Afraid your heart, once so wide open, is closed and at peace without her. That fear, it's powerful. It grabs her by the throat in the quiet moments. It plays out 100 worst-case scenarios in her mind. You happy, you laughing, you building a life she's no longer part of. So she starts to reach out, not in subtle ways this time, but with urgency. She texts things you used to dream of hearing. I miss you. I was wrong. I didn't know what I had. She might even show up in person, shaking, apologizing, swearing she's changed. But by now, you've changed. The words that would have broken your resolve months ago, they don't land the same anymore. Because now, you're no longer seeking her validation. You're standing in your value. You're not bitter. You're not cold. You're just whole. You've done the work, faced the pain, healed the wounds. And she can feel it, that energy shift, that unshakable calm that only comes when a person knows deep in their bones that they don't need to be chosen to feel complete. She finally sees your worth, but you no longer need her to. And that's what scares her the most. Not just that she lost you, but that you're finally okay without her. Thing number 10, your emotional breakthrough. And this is the moment of rebirth. Not loud, not flashy, just real. You're no longer glued to your phone waiting for her name to appear. You're not stalking her social media. You're not rehearsing conversations that will never happen. You're done chasing because now you've come home to yourself. This isn't revenge. This isn't ego. This is peace. You've realized something most people never do. That closure isn't something you get from someone else. It's something you give to yourself. You've stopped asking why she didn't see your worth, stopped wondering if you were ever enough, stopped needing answers that only kept you stuck. And in that stillness, you found your freedom. You've learned that happiness doesn't come from being someone, it comes from being your own foundation. You are your own anchor now, your own peace, your own home. And here's what's powerful. She feels that too. She sees it in your energy, the stillness in your silence, the confidence in your distance. You're no longer trying to be chosen. You've already chosen yourself. And that, my friend, is the hardest truth for her to swallow. Not that you left, but that you don't need her anymore. You're no longer an option. You're not even in the category. You are free. And that is your power. So what's the real lesson here? Never let anyone treat your presence like it's guaranteed. When respect fades and you're treated like an option, you walk. Not to hurt them, not to prove a point, but to protect your peace. You disappear, not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. Because Stoicism teaches us you can't control how others love you, only how you love yourself. And when you finally stop chasing, stop explaining, stop shrinking just to be accepted, that's when your power returns. If this message found you at the right time, drop a comment below and say, I'm done being an option, because you are not one. You're not someone to keep on standby. You're not half loved, half seen, or half valued. You're a force. You're whole. You're free. Thanks for joining Spark Your Journey today. If this resonated with you, don't stop here. Explore more of our content, and let's continue this Stoic journey together. Stay strong, stay grounded, and until next time, keep cultivating your inner strength. We'd love to hear your thoughts or suggestions for future topics, so drop a comment below. See you in the next video.